Hello, welcome to another episode of the Horror Vision Horror Podcast. My name is Sean,
And that's CC DeVille from Poison.
And I'm Missy.
and I would actually rather talk about CC DeVille from Poison, a band and a person that I don't like at all,
Yeah,
and
man,
never
them
did.
skinny bot motherfuckers.
Uh, but instead, we're going to talk about a movie that came out tonight that is a adaptation of a video game that I apparently is very popular because my theater was very full, and that usually does
Yeah.
not happen. Until Dawn. And the basic setup for this movie is five hapless 20 somethings wander into a bed and breakfast where they are killed, and then a skull laden hourglass rotates. They're resurrected and killed again in a new way. And they just have to make it till dawn. But can they? And I will just say this. I felt the same suffocating claustrophobia that these characters did. Because every time that night began again, I too was horrified that I would also have to fucking live through it with them. Because it felt endless. That is my entire review. Guys, what did you feel about this movie?
Missy, take it away.
um, I thought it was an okay popcorn flick. I've not played the game because it's only a PlayStation exclusive. I've always wanted to play it, but I've played several games like it. Um, I'm a big fan of The Quarry by the same company, and it has the same kind of mechanic. So when I was watching this movie, I feel like I there were moments where I can see the choices.
Mm-hmm.
It and from what I know, I was just talking to our friend John about the Until Dawn game because he loves it and has played it several times. And from what I can tell, it's trying to play more with the mechanic than it is with the actual story. I mean, they kind of mutilated the story. But if you like these kind of games and you just want a popcorn flick to kill an hour and a half, this is okay. It's not bad. I didn't mind my time with it. And it had a couple moments that made me laugh out loud.
Yeah,
Um,
there was one sequence. There's about four things in this movie I liked. One involved a scene uh, where people just start to explode. I thought that was
yep.
it was done well. It became a little bit like Sideshow Bob stepping on the rakes. Although Sideshow Bob stepping on the rakes it doesn't become unfunny the longer it goes on. They know when to cut it. This didn't know when to stop. Um, there was that. There was like what is that? Is that a person? And I don't even know what it was that was on screen. That completely, I was like, that was awesome, but it was literally for like a second.
Hmm.
And I think there were like two other, there were some cool effects. They break somebody's fucking head with a hammer, and it looked really good. That's about it.
Hmm.
But I mean, I'm not the target audience at all. Anthony, what did you think? I can tell by the look on your face that this is probably your movie of the year.
Um, I started my day listening to an audiobook of A Canticle for Leibowitz, and that was awesome. This was not. Uh, yeah, it was just all the predictable, drivel that you would expect from these types of films, and trope after trope after trope. And I get it. The trope is what's supposed to be,
Yeah, they're
like
playing the
kind of the
trope on
core.
purpose.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's the core. Yeah, it's part of its core. But I mean, so was A Cabin in the Woods, and that executed that whole usage of tropes well. And this
Hmm.
just used them as a tool to continue to quote unquote torture the youths in this film. And yeah, no memorable line dialogue, line delivery, no memorable set designs. I mean, everything is very done kind of blasé. There is a bit where they explain why part of the house is sunken down, and I kind of like that. part of the
Hmm.
story, but they don't go further in and really explain too much of that in depth. And then after that, it's like, well, what's actually happening here? Because what I'm getting on screen, it bounces back and forth so often that you can't really make a story out of that shit. And then it's like, okay, well, let's throw some gore at you. So by the time that comes along and I'm distracted by that, they eventually get away from it and then go back to whatever the fuck it is they're doing. And again, just kind of running in the dark with flashlights with no real purpose other than let's survive the night.
Hmm.
We've seen all this shit 1,000 times before. And like Sean said, I never played the game. I didn't grow up with this game. This isn't something that's like a staple of my youth or anything like that. I'm not the audience. And if this is what you're looking for, there's better source material everywhere else. I like, the two bits in there that are kind of like the homage to the Descent, where the gal's like
Yeah.
coming out of the ground. Like,
Hmm.
for some of the old school heads here, there are things that you'll pick up on and like, oh, okay, because they keep saying it's a love letter to horror films. And yeah, but when you start to overuse these things, it just loses all point. And it's just sad that that's kind of what this is, a multi-million dollar pointless film. I didn't enjoy it with the exception of maybe 20 minutes of gags, and then beyond that, like you said, it loses its luster, and it's just I didn't care anymore.
From what I know about the story, if you like these kind of games, play the game rather than see the movie. If you're just looking for something to kill an hour and a half, it's a gory popcorn film, but it's not deep.
No, I mean it's not that it's not deep. I mean you're not wrong. I don't think everyone will react as lackluster as Anthony and I.
Yeah, but all right, The Quarry, their other game, is one of my favorite games ever. I've played through it a few times. And I was just talking to John about Until Dawn, which he feels the same way about that game. And he was telling me the basic story, and it got lost in translation.
I mean, so there's going to be that, so that's probably going to piss people off that are fans of the game. But also, like our friend Chris Van Wormer said the same. He's like, it was boring. He's like, I didn't
Yeah.
care about anybody. Nobody grew, and I forgot about this. Right? Chris, if you're listening, thank you for saying this. I literally forgot about this. The whole point of the fucking movie. I'm not going to get. I can't get. I don't want to give away a spoiler, but the whole point. The whole reason they are where they are is just dropped. So the director is David F. Sandberg, and David F. Sandberg, back in like 2000, I don't know, 12, 13, somewhere around there, I used to always show, whenever I do movie nights, I'd show a bunch of horror shorts, and I was watching a lot of horror shorts online. And him and his wife or girlfriend, they used to do these. He lived in, I think it was Sweden, and just in their apartment, he would make these great 5 minute, if that, horror shorts. Lights Out was one of them. There's one called something like I'll See You Soon. And they were really clever. And he'd then put up videos that were like, here's how I did it. He'd always joke about like, oh, I bought this at IKEA. I love IKEA because Sweden.
Great meatballs.
Great meatballs. He might even said that at some point, but it'd be like, oh, I bought this lamp and this whatever and made like a dolly, whatever it was. And I remember when James Wan brought him to Hollywood and made, produced a feature for Lights Out. I still have never seen that movie. I'm just afraid to because I liked the short so much. Um, but I root for this guy. He doesn't do movies I like, but I'm still happy that he went from making little independent, nothing budget movies in his apartment with his girlfriend to doing Shazam, a movie I'd never fucking see. But I mean, that's a great story. He's did one of the Annabelle movies. He's done a bunch of movies. He did this. I root for him. I don't think it was poorly directed. I just think that it was a misguided studio affair because it's a high level property, right? So, PlayStation Productions is the logo you see at the beginning, and Sony. This isn't one of the movies like most of what we see where it starts out with 10 fucking production companies logos, right? Because it took that many
Right.
people to back it. This is a Sony movie. Um, and it just feels like what major studios do with stuff like this, where, they're just like, you got a round peg and you force it into a square hole. So it doesn't surprise me that John told you that the story got lost in translation, or that they.
He just told me what the story was, and having just watched the movie, I'm saying it got lost in
Yeah,
translation.
well, okay. But I had invited him to come on to talk because I wanted somebody that had actually played the game. Um, but I mean, it's three of us here reviewing this that didn't play the game. So somebody, if you're listening and you love the game and you love the movie, please tell us in the comments why. I'm not like you have to defend yourself. I just would legitimately like to hear somebody's opinion that liked it and played the game and saw the movie. But I mean, I guess you could, like you said, it's, if you're looking for a half-hour popcorn movie with some good, man, I like Anthony said, there's maybe not in a theater right now, but there's a lot better examples of this. This has just felt so tired and boring. And
If you've already seen Sinners, go watch that again.
yeah, actually, there you go. Go see Sinners a second time, or I guess AMC. Well, we were originally going to review The Shrouds, the new Cronenberg, and none of us had. Well, check again, because Anthony said all the AMCs by him put up showtimes for today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I don't know. Maybe you have it. I don't have it. Only my art house theater in Nashville has it. And I doubt I'm going to have a chance to go up there to see it. But way to go, AMC, putting up movie times day of. That's fucking awesome. That's
Well, I
awesome.
checked earlier today and it was not there.
Okay, so maybe that's just in SoCal. Because I looked at none of my Regals near me have showtimes for it. So
yeah, I'll look again. But
instead we did this.
It's playing my art house theater too. It's playing the Music Box in Chicago.
Okay.
And I'm not going to get out there.
It sucks because Crimes of the Future played wide. Although I did see it in AMC in Southern California, so maybe that's why. I don't know. But yeah, Until Dawn. I don't know. The explosions were funny.
Yeah. I couldn't wait until I got home.
I thought it was okay, but I would second, if you haven't seen Sinners yet, go see that, because I saw that again today, and it was even more amazing than it was the first time around.
You're doing God's work, Missy, that's for sure.
Yeah. That's Until Dawn. And I'm Until Sean.
And I'm Ricky Rackman with Headbangers Ball.
And I'm still just Missy.
Hapless teenagers beset by demons in the woods. A strange new drug that turns art into murder. A can't beat a deal on a new house with a horrifying past. A video game that might usher in the apocalypse. From the demented mind of Sean C. Baker, author of A Collection of Desires, Shadow Play, and Murder Virus, comes Volume 4, collecting Baker's no sleep work along with several never-before published short stories. This 99-cent volume also includes the opening chapter of the author's forthcoming teenage giallo novel, Black Gloves and Broken Hearts.